Hello, Catman. I have returned. I now recognize the greatness of Birb Dad.
Okay then.
And now I shall begin on my quest to destroy Angry Bird Wife. She is a soulless wretch who cannot be allowed to corrupt our precious Bird Boy.
What can be said about Stella that we don't already know? That's not a rhetorical question. It's a real question. And I have the answer. We all know Stella's not very happy with Stella's current affair with Blitz. She seems to consider herself above everyone else. Very prim and proper in public, but quite emotional in private. But why is she like this? What could possibly motivate her to act this way?
Because she doesn't actually love him. It was an arranged marriage.
Silence!
Yeah. I've heard the whole arranged marriage thing a lot. And my rebuttal has always been, arranged by who? But more recently I've sort of found a way that Stella's and Stella's marriage could have been arranged. But I'm still sticking to my original idea for now. Whether Stella's and Stella's marriage was arranged or not, it's not entirely necessary to understand their relationship as it currently is. Yes. Stella and Stella's are not very romantic. But why does Stella care what Stella's does? I'll tell you why. Without Stella's, she has nothing. She needs his money, power, and status to continue to live the life she has. But Stella's is always finding ways to damage his credibility and his family's status. A homosexual affair with an imp is by far the biggest blow to a demon noble's legitimacy. Yet Stella's is doing it anyway. Why? To Stella's, his antics mean nothing. He doesn't care about maintaining his image. The most important thing in his life is his daughter. Not his standing. Not his loyalty to Lucifer. None of that. Besides, what does all his money and power matter if hell is to be destroyed soon anyway? Of course, Stella doesn't know what Stella's knows. So she's constantly frustrated by Stella's deviant nature. She doesn't know what he's going through. All she knows is that Stella's actions are giving a bad impression of her. But what about Octavia? What is Stella's daughter to her? A quick reminder that Octavia is 17. Not 170. Not 17,000. She's 17 years old. That's Earth years. There's no way that Stella's and Stella's marital problems began after Octavia was born. What drove the two of them to conceive a child only now, possibly millennia into their marriage, which was already very unstable? I don't have an answer for this. But I assume that Stella doesn't necessarily hate her daughter. She just can't relate to her. And it's quite possible Octavia is a constant reminder that Stella's lifestyle constantly hangs in a balance. Perhaps when she looks at Octavia, all she can see is Stella's. Stella's, no doubt, understood he had a new purpose when Octavia came into his life. Everything he did was for her. He would be seemingly obsessed with caring for her. Where Octavia went, so did Stella's. So of course, Stella's had the most influence over Octavia. Stella probably doesn't like that. But instead of trying to influence Octavia herself, she stayed distant. Afraid of her own daughter, or more specifically, what her daughter would think of her. Could anything she did wash the stain of Stella's influence off of Octavia? Would Octavia hate her for trying to be the voice of reason? Instead of trying, she's shirked responsibility. Too afraid of what could happen. What she continues to not understand is that Stella's isn't just a sporadic maniac. He's a man at his lowest point. What he knows is a constant source of depression. His daughter's well-being saps all his energy. His loss of a supportive partner has driven him to find interest in an imp. Perhaps more than lustful interest, perhaps a genuine sense of compassion. Love. Despite Blitz's clear disposition to Stella's advances, his relationship with Stella's as a business associate and even a friend drives him to interact with Stella's. Which is more than can be said for Stella. Of course, this relationship, while a source of temporary happiness, is also a source of further tension. Stella's knows Stella, and most likely other nobles, definitely don't like his and Blitz's relationship. But like an addictive substance, Stella's can't stay away. The happiness Blitz gives him, even if the consequences are terrible, is still worth it. But even with Stella's enamored with Blitz, his true loyalty stays with his daughter. His problem is that he can't stop seeing Blitz, even when his daughter is clearly hurt by it. Octavia is in a broken household with parents who never interact except to fight. A mother who isn't there. A father who says he loves her, but won't stop making things worse. She doesn't care if her father actually cares about Blitz or not. She just wants a stable home. And that's something Stella's can't give her. And Stella most certainly isn't going to compromise. All she can do is watch as her world burns down around her, while occasionally finding moments that bring her happiness. What she doesn't know is her father is going through the same thing, but on an apocalyptic level. There's something he can't control either. And he's not naive. He knows what bad a shape he's in.
The men I talk to, they only see money. Now my wife. I am not naive. She does not love me for my body.
Well, despite your good fortune, you're still a decent man.
Am I? I don't know. I try to be. But maybe I'm just another rich fool, just like the rest of my friends. Do you think a pile of shit feels popular because it's surrounded by flies? Look at me. I'm a mess.
Before I could finish this video, episode 5 of Hell of a Boss came out. Several of my previous predictions are rendered invalid. Stella's was the only geisha to show up and there was no purge. I'm still not entirely sure what the point of the festival is. I think Stella's did make a comment about how the imps grow all the food for hell. They celebrate that, I guess. I suppose Stella's is only there to show everyone the harvest moon present in the mortal world. He is the space guy after all. Furthermore, Stella's situation looks a little less complicated after she hired Norman Reedus to kill her husband. Unless this is a fake out. At face level, you would assume the cheating prick she's talking about is Stella's. And it might be. But think about what would happen if she did have Stella's erased. Does the wealth and power go to her? I doubt it. If anything, it would make Stella's family in particular less powerful. Maybe she's too short-sighted to see that, or maybe, she was never talking about Stella's. Stryker, the imp bounty hunter voiced by goddamn Norman Reedus, has no idea what he'd be getting himself into by killing all the demon nobility. If he had managed to kill Stella's, everyone would know he did it. Maybe not immediately, but soon enough for him not to do it again. The goetic demons can scry his location and the ring princes will give him no safe haven. He'd be known for killing a horny, depressed, wreck of a man. He's hardly going to be able to kill Lucifer. Literally every noble demon would come crashing down onto him. And Stella, she'd be put to the flame, tortured, labeled a traitor, and perhaps, after she can take no more pain, will be allowed the release of non-existence. And Octavia? She's a loose end. The spawn of a weakling and a traitor. If not erased or tortured, she'd be cast out of the geisha family and nobility altogether. Is Stella really ready to take those risks? But even if the target was someone else, Stryker still needs an angelic weapon to kill them. Meaning they're a noble. But what if that noble, say, cheated Stella, and Octavia? That would be the casting of the first stone. Their death would be a bit more forgivable. It's also possible Stryker attempted to kill Stella's of his own accord while looking for a different target. What about Wally Whitford? An employee of Mammon. Mammon, known for being a cheating penny pincher and whose business is built around it. Maybe he cheated Stella in some way. Stryker would bag the target, kill Stella's, get his pay, then kill Stella. No loose ends. In all likelihood this is just what it seems at face value. Stella wants Stella's dead. But that's not very interesting, is it? Plus I already wrote this damn script and I'm gonna use it. There is a possibility that Stella has a turnaround. Like Zuko in Avatar, who sent an assassin after Aang but then tried to stop him after a change of heart. That'd be interesting. Anyway. That's my input. Goodbye.